How do you help a loved one declutter when they don't want to declutter their stuff? That is a great question. I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, as a professional house cleaner of almost 30 years, I've been inside all kinds of people's homes with all different kinds of layers and levels of clutter. And one of the things that I've noticed, and this is just my personal observation, is that you cannot make someone change against their will. So if you are the tidy one in the house and you're living with someone who enjoys or is comfortable around clutter, you do not get to change them. Because if they change for you, you will also be the reason they change back. If you ever get in a heated discussion and I'm gonna show you, why they bring back all that clutter to punish you because they know that's your hot button. So if you are the reason they change, you will also be the reason that they revert to the behaviors when they decide to get even with you. That is my observation. All right, that said, how do you help a family member get rid of their stuff or declutter their stuff or change their relationship with stuff when in fact they don't want to change? The answer to that situation or that scenario is you can change yourself. You cannot change them, but you can change yourself. And what you can do is say, hey, listen, I'm going to the Goodwill this weekend and I'm making a donation box. By the way, is there anything that you'd like to add? And let them know I've started a little process of decluttering my own personal life. Do you want to be part of it? And they might say, no, I'm good. Okay, great. Declutter your own things and go about your business, but leave the box visible for them to see. Make them invited to participate in your activities. Now, what happens is a light's going to go on and they're going to say, oh, I do have too much stuff, but I don't want to deal with that right now. And they may not deal with it at all. But it's not you begging them to deal with their stuff. You're dealing with your own stuff. All right, the next thing, as you make relationship changes with your stuff, it's really great to announce those to the family. On some of the previous Clutter Corner episodes that we've done, we talked about Post-it notes, for example. So what you might do is you might announce to the family one night at dinner, hey, as I was going through a bunch of my stuff, decluttering and organizing my things, I decided that I don't use Post-it notes any longer. And because we're texting each other the messages that I used to put on Post-it notes, I wanted you guys to know I'm not buying Post-it notes anymore. And so what happens then is you've announced your intentions. And they might go, well, that's so weird. Yeah, I don't use Post-it notes either. So I can participate in that. But what we've discovered as a family is that we have a new rule about something. I'm not knocking Post-it notes. They're very useful to some people still. I'm using this as an example. We did an episode on wrapping paper. And because we use gift bags and we don't actually wrap the gifts and use the bows, we're not buying wrapping paper and bows anymore. And so when we made the announcement last year to my family, hey guys, we're not buying wrapping paper anymore and Christmas bows, what happened is the whole family went on high alert and they're like, oh, we don't buy that anymore. So what happens is it's not just me changing my relationship with stuff, but as I do and as I make an announcement, it kind of starts having an effect in the house. And as that box of donation stuff gets set in the same place every week, and you start putting all of your things in it day by day, what happens is it starts becoming like, oh, this is what we're doing now. And then other members of the family will start bringing their stuff and adding it to the donation box. You're welcome to invite them every week if you like, or you can just write the word donation on the side of the box. But what happens then is the members of the family start going, oh, this is what we're doing now. And now they can participate because they feel like they're part of it. But it's their idea, not yours, okay? And so if confronted or if the conversation comes up, you can say something like, I'm changing my relationship with stuff and I'm decluttering and I need your support. Can I count on that? And what that means is when I make a new announcement, like I'm not buying this particular item anymore, that you help me with that and you don't buy it either. You don't bring more of that into my life because we've got plenty. We don't need any more. Can I count on your support? And then you make an announcement as you go. I've just changed my relationship with this item, coffee mugs, for example. We talked about having 43 coffee mugs in your kitchen. And if there are only 2 people that live at home, you don't need 43. So you can make an announcement and say, hey, I'm giving up the 43 coffee mugs, and as I'm decluttering, I need your support. Can I count on you to not bring any more coffee mugs inside the house? as I get rid of these, as I declutter these, as I give some of these away, which ones of these are you okay if I let go? And you let them be part of the decision. It's not you decluttering their stuff, it's you decluttering your own stuff. And so they say, well, I don't like this mug. I hated that mug. I never liked that. Great, let's get rid of that. And let them help and be part of the conversation. Because they're going to say, well, while we're with this, getting rid of the coffee mugs, we also have too many bowls. Why don't we get rid of some bowls? And then you go, why don't we? Of the bowls we have, which ones are you dying to keep? Which ones are you okay to let go? And you bring them in on the conversation. And as you sneak them in to the changes that you're making, all of a sudden they start having those conversations with themselves. The reason this is important is because as we get older, some of our mobility issues change. And if we have a house that's cluttered full of stuff, and this happens a lot with family members that we're helping, they have mobility devices or they have wheelchairs and they are not able to get through their homes as easily as they once did because there's too much clutter and there's too much stuff. So people that haven't and are not willing to deal with the psychological issues of their stuff, a lot of times because this is the new norm, there's always going to be a box right here waiting to go to the donation place at the end of the week. And if Saturday is donation day, we know that every single week on Saturday, I got to get my stuff in the box before Saturday. Now, what happened in my own particular home as we started implementing these procedures is I would be packing the car on a Saturday morning when people start running out of the house going, wait, hold the trunk open. I'm bringing some stuff for the donations. Wait a second. They weren't participating in this experiment, and now they are. And so you say, sure, and don't make it a big deal like, what? You're getting rid of your stuff? Look at you. Don't do that. Just make it very matter of fact, like, oh, sure, we do this every week. This is part of the new norm. And as you're making part of the new norm, they kind of ease their way into it as they gradually adjust the fact that it's okay to get rid of some of the stuff you no longer use. So how do you help a family member? You start with yourself first. You make it like you're the one that's on the journey to get rid of this stuff. Invite them to come along. Make it visible by having a box, either by the stairs or by the door, so that every time they go out, they see it. Oh, yes, that's the donation box. Is there anything I can donate? And it's like the spider thread we talked about in another episode. I will leave links to the spider thread episode because it's kind of fascinating. But the concept is every time they walk past that box at an unconscious level, they go, oh, that's what we're doing now. Even if they don't want to admit that's what we're doing now. So their unconscious mind has to process, look, there's a donation box. Do I have anything to donate? At some point, it's going to jump up to the front of their conscious mind and they're going to go, wait, yes, I do. I have stuff I no longer use, I no longer want, it doesn't fit me, and there's a box that leaves every Saturday for that donation round. I have something I'd like to donate this week. And if you've made it easy for them to participate, you're going to get their support a whole lot easier than if you try to shove it down their throat and you try to force them to change, or you threaten them, or you give them ultimatums. Because if they change for you, you will also be the reason that they change back. And if you're trying to elicit help and support and encouragement, then you have to ask for it. As I'm decluttering in my journey, I really need your support. Can I count on that? And if they think they're helping you in your journey, oftentimes they're going to jump through hoops to add stuff to your donation box, to keep the house cleaner, to help get rid of stuff, and to make the transition for you a whole lot smoother. All right, that is how you help your family member. All right, if you have questions or comments, those go in the notes below. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.